We're honored to have Miss Cindy with us. She has rich work experience in the internet industry. Thank you very much for your time. Um, so Xiaomi is one of the leading corporations in the internet industry, and it has experienced rapid development in the past few years. How do you view the current employment status for women in this industry? And especially in like the past 5 years, what changes has occurred?
Actually, for the high-tech industry, especially for Chinese high-tech industry, the speed is really moving very fast compared with the other countries in the world. So actually, for the women, you have to devote a lot of energies and times in your job compared with the other peers. In worldwide, I think Chinese women is really very devoted. And for me, I always see like in this industry, especially for which industry, like I work for the company, which is Chinese company in Europe. And the average age for all the leaders as well as employees is much lower than the peer companies here. So I think that's is quite different comparatively. So it's quite a challenge actually for the women in technical like background because first of all, you should have very strong education on this. And secondly, I think you have to progressing your technology or chasing this technology trend continuously. Otherwise, you lost quickly. Within 3 years, you're nowhere. So as this industry, like which company I working for before is like Honor, Xiaomi, now I'm working for TCL, everywhere. It's like every 3 to 6 months, there's change, there's technology, new technologies introduced to the industry. So that's a thing, not only for women, I think for everybody in this industry. And as like Chinese, we bring a lot of new technology to the world, to Europe. So that's the challenge we're facing now.
So compared to like traditional industries, what do you think are some like barriers that women career will face like in their development in your particular industry? And how do you think women can break through those technical difficulties?
To be frank, I think compared with traditional industry, we are more open for women in our industry and especially in Europe because we just don't discriminate anyone, not like in Europe, right? So we give a lot of chance for the women who are ready, technically ready, and who are lively ready, and for the girls who have especially those Chinese girls who have overseas education and they can have very good language skills both in English, Chinese, or some European language that will be bring a lot of benefits for our business. So I think we really welcome all the women to work in our industry. And you can see actually the number of women in this industry is much higher than back to China comparatively in Europe. That's a good thing. In China, there's like a few years ago, there's kind of principle like 35 age, you're too old, and kind of discrimination in the industry. But in Europe, we're not. So for me, I'm approaching 50, right? I'm still very active in the career. So I think it's a really good thing to work in Europe and as a pioneer, as a Chinese company, and we bring a lot of good things here.
It's so great to hear your experience from working abroad compared with in China.
I
And
do.
obviously
I do
you've
think it's good, very good for me.
yeah. Obviously you've experienced the process of Chinese companies going global. So
Mhm.
how do you think Chinese organizations can perhaps learn the diversity and inclusion practices from European and American organizations to promote female career growth?
Actually, once you decided to open your business or expand your business, like what I worked for Xiaomi before, is kind of from the surviving mood. At very beginning, we start from scratch. And then after a few years, we are going to strive for our business from 0 to 1. And then from 1 to 10, that means we're thriving now. So when you see like 5 years ago, when I just come to Europe, very, very few Chinese company here and very, very few employee here. I'm the first HR landed in the East Europe. My first stop was in Poland. And by the time we have only 50 people covering their like around 10 countries. But now you see after 5 years, our employee is like now get 500 people here covering like every country in Europe. So it's a big progress in the industry. And you have to, once you are here, you have to follow all the local regulations and the rules and the cultures and the norms. Otherwise, how can you do business here, right? So especially for the European Union country, they have very similar or close principles to respect the people and follow the local law code. So if you want to make the business successful here, that's the first thing you have to do to respect the local culture. Like you have to be no discrimination on the women and be embrace all the diversity and exclusive working environment.
It's so lovely hearing your experiences working in Europe and adapting to the different
But
culture
it's also
in there.
challenge. I mean, because Europe,
Yeah.
like you got like Europe, you got like 48 countries, I think, in Europe, and same like over 40 local languages. So it's not so universal for you to speak English in every country, especially if you go to East. Before I was in Poland, in Czech Republic, in Russia, and now moving to France, and even in France. Not everybody speak English. So it means if you're working here, the language, the first thing you have to confront is how to communicate with local people, with local employee. And the second thing I think for us is no matter where you go, because we are still a foreigner here, and we have so many different things, like you said, it's kind of diversity or some kind of difference, and how you keep learning to learn local practice and to learn the people, what they think. So no matter where you go, it's a thing that you have to learning. So for me, it's like this.
So I wonder if there's any challenges specific to your like career transition
Oh, sure.
within the HR function, obviously, that you've like overcame or is still overcoming. Yeah.
I think there's always a lot of challenges. And first of all, when you first landed in Europe, you have to settle down. And I mean, life-wise, you have to adapt to the new environment, like the food, the weather, everything like this, right? So this is a basic thing. But the most important thing is about the business, because we are coming here for business. So as a management or as an employee, I have to make the company successful. If you want to make this company successful, you have to learn the local business and how to, because it's totally different way to do business here and compare with China. And especially for me, I'm HR. So I deal with people instead of products. So people are very different. What they think are very different. So how you deal with the people, motivate the people, attract the people working for a Chinese company, and how to motivate them to make more value for the company, and how to engage them. This is a very challenge for a Chinese HR, because I'm also not local HR. So for me, this is very challenge. And with this business from this, I mentioned, I just from the 3 phases, from surviving, striving to the thriving phase. And you yourself as HR, very beginning, you set up an organization, right? You hire the people to the company. But the second phase, you have to motivate the people to strive for the company's business. And third mode, when you come to thriving mode, how you maintain your success in this market, how to build this employee branding. This is also a very challenging topic for me. Now, for my personally, because I'm moving a lot of countries, I always carry my luggage from country to country. So this is also a very challenging thing because you never stop. For me as expatriates here, I can't like stop somewhere permanently. You have to go with the business. So this is a challenging thing for me, but it's also a very valuable experience for me as well.
Thank you for sharing your experience. I want to know that from your global HR professional expertise, what do you think are the specific supports that need to be prioritized to promote women's career development, especially in the internet industry?
I mean, when we do the selection, actually, we will specifically at this moment to pay attention to the women who get like overseas working or education background, who can speak local language and have been working or studying the local for quite a long time, then can be easily adapt to the local culture than me. So at this moment, I think we are doing this. And for all the Chinese expats who are originally from China, we got kind of program before they are moving to other country like Europe. We have the program to support them, to let them to, for example, we get like a 50 to 50% travel-based at the very beginning for them to come to Europe, to work with the team and to adapt to the team. Then when they get very used to this and they are quite comfortable and confident about what they're doing, then we were thinking about relocate them here for 100% time. But very beginning, I think it's more like 3 months, 6 months, or longer time travel based. That for them is not so hard, right? So we had different approach for to different groups of women.
Okay. Thank you so much for your time and
Thank
the
you.
sharing of your experience. It's very valuable.